Hey everybody, it's Jesse at Does Cars, and I just wanted to say Happy New Year and get everybody caught up on what's been going on this year. It's been eventful. I started out 2024 with driving cars for DoorDash and also doing a little bit of all the other gig works out there. And so that helped me build up a little bit of extra cash to actually start buying some more vehicles. I did have the F-150 from the previous year, and I had the Rogue from the previous year. I was driving both of them, or driving the Rogue full time, and doing DoorDash with that. I was looking for a more financially feasible car. It seems like all of the hybrids that got good gas mileage for doing DoorDash and stuff that actually made it kind of reasonably self-sufficient just wasn't there. And I finally did purchase a Hyundai Sonata that got 36 miles of the gallon on the highway. However, doing door dashing, it was only getting 20 miles a gallon in town, and it's supposed to get 26. It's not even close to that. Okay, so when I'm doing door dashing, I'm building up money to purchase new vehicles and things like that. And so, um, first of all, we'll go ahead and work on this one. I'll show you the recap on that. If I can bring it up. And basically, this is the Sonata that I purchased.
So this is my 2011 Hyundai Sonata. It's a Hyundai. It's a Sonata. It's just like most people don't consider Hyundai, a Sonata, anything special. It is an SE, so it's a sport edition. And my insurance company definitely considers it a sports car, which is interesting. A, it's 4 doors. B, it's a Hyundai. It's a Sonata. It's just very interesting. However, this Hyundai Sonata actually shocked me after I went and purchased it for $400 at Copart, and it had a front end. It was completely wrecked, but it was rebuildable, really easy to rebuild, mostly bolt-on stuff. Yeah, it has some dents in it. I mean, what happened was the hood flipped up, wrapped around the windshield, and onto the hood or the roof. It dented it really severely, and so I replaced the windshield, the hood, the complete front end, and a radiator, and everything runs great.
This was after the car had been completed. We had driven it to California. So in May, I went to go do a celebration of life for my aunt. Um, and so my daughter and I, we drove this car to California. I want to say something about the Sonatas, at least up to the 2013 models. They're great riding. Their seats are a lot more performance, and they're very comfortable. I usually have to get out every 100 miles or so because my back hurts, my lower back hurts, riding in most seats. Not so much with the Sonata, which was just really cool and really awesome. And so I really appreciated the Sonata. And so then I purchased the Subaru Legacy uh, fairly soon after that, and fairly soon after actually completing building the Sonata, and then I sold the Sonata. Come to find out, the Sonata had a brand new engine in it, or not brand new, but it had been replaced 30,000 miles before I purchased it from the salvage auction. And so it had a fairly new engine in it, and it ran great. It'll probably go 200,000 miles at least, if not more. The good Sonata engines actually go up almost 300,000. So, it's got 270,000 miles left to go on it. Anyway, I sold it for $5,000, which is not bad for a salvaged vehicle. So the thing about it is I think Blue Book on it was like $6,000 for a 2012 or a 2011 um, Hyundai Sonata, and so even though it was salvaged, I still got the 5,000 because of the brand new engine, or the newer engine. Also had new windshield, got new hood, new grille, new bumper covers, new headlights, new um, fog lights, the whole works. So I mean, the whole works was done with that car. And so moving on to the next one, I purchased the um, so I purchased this one right here.
Made mom proud one more time just before she passed. She was proud that we could always do these things, and this was the last thing I could do to make her proud.
And so this is the Legacy just before
the last thing I could do.
I got it completed and painted and things like that. But there was a lot of problems with this one. So what happened was I had a airbag light on. I could not figure out what it was. Diagnostics were just throwing erroneous errors, just telling me all over the place. And I finally figured it out, and it was the sensor that was actually in the seat that you sit on. So it had nothing to do with anything else, like the airbag light, or I'm sorry, the airbag in the steering wheel, or in the seat, or the computer. I had the computer redone. I had the seat belts redone. I had all these things different done, and I may not have actually even had to get them done. It may have all been down to this one sensor. Um, the seatbelt I obviously did have to get done, but the computer I may not have actually had to get it done. So I just have all kinds of issues. Um, Finally, I figured out it was the one in the seat, and I did a video on that, actually letting people know this is the error code. If you have this error code, it's the sensor actually in the seat, not the airbag in the seat.
Same thing on the other side. And Bob your uncle, I hate that term, but whatever. That's the sensor right there. So as soon as you do that, this takes like 15 minutes. Take the seat out, it makes it a little bit easier. There's just one wiring harness, and once you pull the clips, it's just, it's super simple.
So I had replaced the airbag in the seat. I had replaced the clock spring in the steering wheel twice. Yeah, it's just all kinds of a mess. Anyway, so I got into that, and we moved on from there. And then it's like I just completed that, and then I was driving for YouTube, or not YouTube, but for DoorDash at the same time. So UPS screwed me. I paid $126 for next day to get my parts back on time to get my car inspected. Not going to happen. So what happened was on that Subaru, I actually paid express to there with the seatbelt, the airbag control module, the ACM, and it cost me $170 some to get there next day, and then I had paid to have it shipped back next day for $130 for these two modules. Well, because it didn't get there, the company Safety Restore was not able to repair it on time, and they're not able to ship it back. So I could have paid second day air for like $30 going each way, and they wound up not trying to give me a refund, and they said it was on me and it was my responsibility. And I'm just like, I gave it to you. After I give it to you, it's your responsibility. And they're like, well, it's just best effort. So I wrote up a very big, long documentation on why it was their fault, not mine. And if we went to small claims court, that they would definitely lose. And so they eventually just decided, oh, well, we'll give it to them. So they wound up refunding my money, but it was a lot to do to get there. And it was very frustrating. Anyway, so there was that right there. And then there was, the car. And then I finally got to the point.
Okay, everyone, it's together and it's looking good. And got everything together. I mean, it's not perfect, it's got dents. That one needs to be taken out.
So that right there, I've been driving this car around. I'm still driving it around, and I actually love that car. I mean, it's a 2017. It is fully loaded. I mean, it's got every function you could possibly think of. It's got lane keep. Um, it's got just all kinds of different functions to it. And it's kind of cool, because if you get too close to a car, it will actually stop you. Um, I keep it at a very long distance, so it's got radar detect um, cruise control, and so it keeps me at a certain space between the front car and my car. And um, yeah, it's a really great car. The downside is it's got 190,000 miles on it, and so it's one that probably needs to go to somebody else because this is a fix or flip, and so the flip needs to go. And so, with me liking the car and I really, really enjoy it, it's got to go. So that leads me to the current project we're on today, which is, well, actually, in between then, we had this going on.
Okay, guys,
And let's go ahead
this
and
is
open
what
this.
not to do. We've got a Ford F-150 King Ranch. Was it 5.5, 5.5 foot bed on a U-Haul trailer, car transport. And while it may look like it's actually on there, those are the ramps. It's like literally just sitting a couple inches off there. What we did was we actually strapped it. And we strapped it to the ramps to make sure that it didn't go anywhere. So if it did fall off, it wasn't sitting there. Along with a few other things, I took this truck and I took it to Spokane to get a Washington State Patrol certificate and inspection. Got that on the way home. The oil pump took a dump. So
Anyway, so that was after we went to California. We had a family reunion scheduled for the 5th of August, and my mother passed away on August 3rd. So she was supposed to be there, and she wasn't there, but we all went ahead and met up in Oregon, and we had the reunion, and we celebrated her life at the same time. And then later on that month, we went ahead and went back to California to do our actual celebration of life and clean our house out, and things like that. So, yeah, it was a rough time. So it's not like I've been idle, not like I've just sat around and done nothing, even though I feel like I have, and I have done a lot of sitting around doing nothing. I stopped driving for DoorDash at that point because it just really wasn't making me any money. To be quite honest with you, um, even though I was average about $26 an hour driving, and I was driving well, and I was highly ranked and everything like that. There's two things, you got customers that say, "Oh, I didn't get my thing," even though you took a picture and said it was delivered, um, or they would say, I got the wrong meal," and it's just like, how am I supposed to know? It's all packaged up by McDonald's. I can't do anything about that. Anyway, they do that, and it goes on your record, blah blah blah. It just sucks. And DoorDash doesn't do anything for you. They do not have your back, and so I just stopped driving for them. It just wasn't beneficial. $26 an hour. I was paying for my car maintenance, my insurance, my gas, and things like that, and it just wasn't penciling out. I mean, all total, when you figure it all out, all my hours spent out there, I was making about $12 an hour after maintenance, gas, insurance, and all those other things. So it just wasn't worth it. Like I said, if I could have gotten a hybrid may have been a little bit more worth it because I would be getting twice as much in gas mileage. Gas is really expensive. So it was above four. It was like 4.30 at the time, and just at 24, 25 miles of the gallon, it just wasn't worth it. So anyway, um, so there was that. And there was the truck in between. What happened with the truck was I drove it to Spokane. After owning the truck for a year, I had not done anything with it other than replace the leaf spring. I just sat on it. I drove it to Spokane finally, got it inspected. On the way back, the oil pump just gave out, and so the engine didn't seize, but it stopped. And so I had it towed 2 miles. It cost me like 150, 300, or $200, something like that. And then I had to rent that trailer and um, a U-Haul van to pull it home. And that was the sketch part of that. So it was just fun. It was interesting. It sucked, but it just was what it was. Just roll with it, right? Um, and then I purchased this 2016 Sonata. I knew the front end was bad. I was going to repair it, everything like that. Well, I mean, we obviously knew it was a crash damage, right? And it said crash damage on it, bill of sale. Gotcha. No problem. Purchase it. Here's what we get.
Okay, guys. So this is going to be one of my most challenging ones yet. This is a 2016 Subaru or Hyundai Sonata SE. I don't even know what to say. I mean, this thing is so screwed up from the floor up, you know. Um, First of all, I'll open this up here real quick. It smells like one of those really bad ones. It's a theft recovery. Wasn't disclosed as a theft recovery. Got two keys. That one's jacked. I don't know if this one will lock this door or not. It might. Hey, it works. Locks that door. So we'll go into the back here. And here's all the parts that I was pulling out of the trunk. I don't know if it really matters or not. Got parts. I'm starting to recover what I can use. This one right here was put on with wood, so I'm just going to recover the clip and throw this one away. I was going to pull the numbers off, but even the numbers are gone from it. But I do have the other one, and I'm going to get the numbers off of that. So that's the only reason why I'm keeping that one. Getting the clips, recovering these so that they're useful. This car is going to be fun. Let's see. Yeah, so that would just fell apart. So
here's the problem. The car was previously rebuilt. That was not disclosed. And the car had been recovered from theft. Not previously disclosed. But the paperwork from Copart, when they were detailing it, and they were supposed to detail it, they didn't. When they were detailing it, it actually said theft on it, but they didn't advertise it as a theft. So Copart knew that it was a theft. The insurance company knew that it was a theft. They did not put theft on it. And in Washington State, by law, you have to disclose those things. I don't know about other states, but if you guys have this problem, hit me up, because I have a 40-page document now that actually says this. We can all get together and file for a class action lawsuit against them for this exact thing. So anyway, not to get on that, but the reality is this is what I had to deal with. I am still sitting on this car. I have done nothing with it. It sucks. Okay, so right there, we obviously knew that it was damaged, right? But we didn't know it was theft recovery. That disclosure would have made a huge difference on whether I purchased the car or not, because it means there was a lot more wrong with it. Also, had I known that it was rebuilt, there would have been a lot more to it. This car was literally rebuilt with wood and wood screws. That's how bad it was. So anyway, that's this car was just a nightmare in itself. So that being said, I went and moved on to this next car, which is this is a Subaru Crosstrek XV, 95,000 miles on it. The rear end was bashed in on this one, and this is the one I'm currently working on. It's been slow. It's cold. It's winter. It's icy out. Um, so you know, it's not super frigid, but at the same time, you know, yeah. So anyway, I had the Subaru Legacy completed and fully rebuilt, so that was done, and I moved on to this car right here. Um, I sold the Nissan Rogue, and I moved on to this car because I'm driving the Subaru Legacy now. So that's this car is being rebuilt, and I'll show you a little bit about this car. Vehicle came in.
Hey everybody, Jesse does cars. This is the newest vehicle that came in. I've been working on. Runs great, looks good. You know, good tires, good wheels, great engine. Looks newish. I'm surprised. 2013 Subaru XV Crosstrek. Okay, everything looks good. And then until you get to the back. So this is like take 13. I lost the video. Somehow did a cut and paste, and the paste never went through. So anyway, here it is. This car looked like it got wrapped around 2 poles. So back here, it had literally had like a U-shaped bend in it, and the rear bumper was actually melted into this back panel right here. So that took me like 2 hours just to peel it out and peel it off. As you can see, that's pretty bent over there, so I'm gonna have to get underneath here. I'm actually gonna cut all of this out. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see it's pretty tackled right there inside. So I'm gonna cut all that out and replace the end rails. This one's going to get bent back into shape. It's just slightly out of shape. This whole back panel right here is going to be removed. I'm in the process of actually cutting out all the pinch welds right now, and you know, it's just a process. I went through with my grinder to identify most of the pinch welds.
Anyway, so the damage was this piece right here was actually pushed further in. The entire area was just completely devastated, and so we moved on to, let's see here. From that point, I moved on to this next part.
I got this rear words, and just like that, I have this rear frame rail welded back in. They're not pretty welds, but they do the trick. I welded them all the way through 3 times here on top because it was just coming out. My welder kind of sucks, but at least it gets the job done. I did weld up on top. This is going to get covered with seam sealer. I closed up this hole right here. There was a few of them. I had to finish this one right here. I'm going to weld some underneath, and that's going to get because I'm going to put a bar across the bottom right here and weld that in, just to make everything flat and straight and support it a little bit better once it's welded in. To the frame, won't matter. As you can see, it's pretty straight from here to here. I do have a little bit of a fitment issue, but we're talking like 1/8 of an inch fitment right there. This one right here needs to come in, this side right here needs to come in about an inch.
Hey guys, at this point in time, I would actually ask you and challenge you to like and subscribe. My goal right now is meager. I am just trying to get to 50. I am at 39 right now, and I'm just looking for that extra 11 people to subscribe. I would appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything, and it would be great to hit that 50 mark. Ultimately, I'm going to just build in meager areas, and how I do that is constantly putting out videos. I've got like 48 videos, I believe, right now, and those include shorts and longs, mostly longs. So I would appreciate it if you guys would actually like and subscribe and help me out. This piece, the original piece was actually removed. It was cut out. All um, the spot welds were removed, and this actually had to be hacked out. Uh, Really tough area to work on right here, and it was, I mean, it was a booger. I was absolutely shocked on how strong and how much tensile strength these things have to them. They're just steel. They're hollow core, but when you weld them up against everything, that's three-piece sheets of metal right there welded onto it. So I've got the rail, and then I've got these pans right here, right? And so the rail is welded to these pans, and then we've got this top piece that's actually welded onto the pans. So given all that right there, it actually adds a tremendous amount of strength to it. Excuse me. Um, and so this part right here, I did not replace, but there is another video I watched a guy do it. He actually cuts this entire thing out, and he replaces the top panel as well. And I might consider doing that later on down the road. It's very interesting. I need to get a better welder. I'm using a solder core right now. It works for the purpose, but let's be honest, it could be a lot cleaner if you did a TIG or if you use gas. This is a really lousy. It's not. It's functional, but it's not a great weld, and I'd like to get better at it. I did get a little bit better in the next video, which shows me putting the pan back on. What's up, guys? So I finally have the roll pan in, and I'm assuming it's called the roll pan. It's the rear end. I finally got everything lined up. So this is the video about how I got that lined up and everything like that. And I will go ahead and go from there. As you'll see, I chose them. So yeah, this is where I'm at as of today. Um, have I been busy? Yes, I've been busy. Uh, have things been going on that have gotten in the way? Absolutely. Have there been some interesting things going on? Sure. Yeah, I went to two celebrations of life this year. Went to a family reunion. Drove a lot for DoorDash. Been through some cars. I drive almost every one of my cars. So, like the Hyundai Sonata, the 2016 Hyundai Sonata, love that car. Great car. Needs a new stereo system. More modern stereo system. I don't even know why they put those cheap stereo systems in those things. Anyway, um, that was a 20. That was actually a 2011 Sonata. Um, then I had the F-150 breakdown. I completely finished up with the Subaru and had all the little issues with the airbag control module, airbag lights, and everything like that. Then I sold the Nissan Rogue. Just I think it was like 90 some thousand miles on it. I got it when I had like 60,000 miles on it. Drove it for a year. It was great. Loved it. Actually, it had 80 some thousand miles on it, thinking about it. And then I'm working on the XV. The XV is probably pretty close to getting ready to go to inspection. See, I don't have to paint the rear trunk lid or the gate to do the inspection, and I probably won't paint that until it gets warmer. I'm going to actually turn that into my daily driver. First of all, I don't have anything that I can put stuff in the back and haul stuff around with. Legacy is a great car. Love that car, but it's just not a hauler of any sort. But I'm not going to stop there. The Legacy is going to, I want to parlay the Legacy into something else. Not sure what. Could be two cars, could be a truck, could be a large SUV. I do have a family reunion coming up next year in June, and I need to have a tent trailer and something to pull it with. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next year. Getting to flip a few vehicles. I've got the Ford F-150 up for sale as it is. I just don't want to take the time to replace the oil pump. Not my thing. I'm also going to sell the 2016 for parts. Just put it up for $1,000. And then I'm going to sell the Nissan Legacy, or the Subaru Legacy. All right, guys. So I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Evidently, the end of my video got cut off a little bit. I'm not sure what happened. But happy new year. And I will see you next year with many more projects to come. And the Crosstrek will probably be done in the next few weeks. And we'll be good to go. All right. More videos to come out. And obviously, I'm going to be putting out the full video of putting together the Crosstrek. So anyway, stay tuned for that, and please like and subscribe. Again, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out a lot. All right, have a good one. Peace.